Welcome to China News TV. Today, I will delve into insights about China's dominant position in the solar industry, particularly its significant lead over its Western counterparts. Additionally, recent sanctions imposed by Western nations on Russia, specifically targeting diamonds while permitting the unhindered flow of enriched uranium, raise concerns and may signal self-serving motives from the United States. The most recent reports indicate that mainland China has remarkably slashed the production cost of solar components by 42%, achieving a cost as low as 15 cents per watt. A prominent global consulting firm, Wood Mackenzie, underscores that Chinese manufacturers possess a considerable cost advantage, positioning them significantly ahead of international competitors. The United States and Europe are struggling to compete, unequivocally stating that China has outpaced the rest in the green tech industry. Deutsche Welle reported that in 2023, China expanded its solar power capacity, which was double the combined increase made by both the United States and the European Union. As the global powerhouse in solar components, China currently commands 80% of the global manufacturing capacity for solar components. Projections suggest that by 2050, China will contribute over 50% of the global electricity supply. Cornell, Vice President at Wood Mackenzie and an expert in power and renewable energy, affirmed China has the lowest global manufacturing cost for solar components. December statistics revealed that China's production cost for solar modules stands at 15 cents per watt, compared to 22 cents in India, 30 cents in Europe, and 40 cents in the United States, marking a 42% lower cost. China's solar component cost is merely 37.5% of that in the US, approximately one-third the price. He further emphasized that China's comprehensive edge in the green tech race is chiefly due to its vast manufacturing scale, coupled with related supply chain advantages, surpassing mere advantages from inexpensive labor and government support. However, the common narrative among American politicians attributing China's dominance in the solar industry solely to subsidies from the Chinese government overlooks the real reasons behind their own setback, as discovered by U.S. research. Research from the U.S. Department of Energy's National Renewable Energy Laboratory and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology revealed a 23% price advantage for Chinese manufacturers based on industry data from the first half of 2022. This advantage is not primarily due to China's cheap labor, but rather the immense scale of its solar panel manufacturing industry, benefiting from accessible investment capital and a more relaxed commercial and regulatory environment. Bunasi, an associate professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, added, "The ideal photovoltaic components should possess high efficiency, low material costs, streamlined and scalable manufacturing processes, and reliability to maximize cost-effectiveness." Current market-available photovoltaic components have some but not all of these characteristics. It's noteworthy that the aforementioned data relates to the first half of 2022. Over the past 2 years, the European Union and the United States have made significant strides in renewable energy policies. However, experts widely agree that reaching the critical mass in solar component production, as China has done, necessitates a conducive business environment for growth. China's centralized system appears to provide an advantage in these respects. In summary, China's reduction of solar component production costs by 42% to 15 cents per watt in the previous year underscores a significant cost advantage over other countries. China currently commands 80% of the global solar component manufacturing capacity and is projected to contribute over 50% to the global electricity supply by 2050. China's dominance in this field is evident. China's solar component costs are a mere 37.5% of the costs in the US, rendering futile the US's attempts to establish solar industry chains within its own borders or with allied nations to exclude China due to substantial cost disparities. China's superiority in the solar industry primarily arises from its extensive manufacturing scale and related supply chain advantages. Additionally, China's political stability plays a role. In contrast, Western countries' policy fluctuations, exemplified by the Trump administration's abandonment of new energy support policies, create instability potentially hindering the growth of industries like renewable energy. Furthermore, the US's sanctions against Russia appear inconsistent. While the US sanctions inert diamonds, they continue importing radioactive enriched uranium. At the end of 2023, the Group of Seven announced a ban on direct imports of Russian diamonds effective from January 1, 2024, and a gradual restriction on importing Russian diamonds processed in third countries starting from March. The EU Council also announced the inclusion of Alrosa, Russia's largest diamond producer, in its sanctions list, marking the EU's 12th round of sanctions against Russia. However, the US had already imposed sanctions on this Russian diamond company in 2022. Reports suggest that the EU faced resistance in sanctioning the Russian diamond industry, particularly from Belgium. Antwerp in Belgium has long been the diamond trading hub, and Alrosa has been its largest commercial partner. Representatives from the Belgian diamond industry expressed concerns to the media that, in response to sanctions, traders would shift their operations to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Hence, the EU's sanction on the Russian diamond industry undoubtedly harms Belgium, an EU member state, unable to resist the strong Cold War mentality of either the US or the EU, ultimately damaging its own interests in the name of restricting Russian income. The US's push for sanctioning Russia's diamond industry led the EU to ultimately abandon Belgium. However, regarding enriched uranium, both the US and Europe seem reluctant. This action contradicts their intention of restricting Russian income. Western media has reported on these seemingly absurd situations. For instance, the Associated Press highlighted in an August report last year that the United States and its European allies are currently importing significant amounts of Russia's nuclear fuel and compounds, providing Moscow with hundreds of millions of dollars in much-needed income. Despite the Russia-Ukraine conflict affecting most of Russia's energy exports, uranium for nuclear energy remains an exception. According to 2021 statistics, 14% of the uranium required by U.S. nuclear reactors depends on Russian exports, while Russia's state-owned atomic energy company provided 28% of the enrichment services required by the U.S. in 2021. Interestingly, instead of imposing sanctions on Russia's uranium imports, the U.S. increased its imports. By October 2023, according to U.S. statistics, the scale of enriched uranium purchased from Russia doubled, reaching 43.3 tons, valued at $62.8 million. Ironically, although the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill in December 2023 prohibiting the import of Russian enriched uranium, the bill had a loophole. The bill stipulated that until 2027, if the U.S. Energy Secretary determines that no other alternative sources are available for nuclear reactor operation and transportation aligns with national interests, the bill will exempt the import of low-enriched uranium from Russia. Reviewing related reports, we can draw the following conclusions. Firstly, the United States and its Western allies aim to limit Russia's income, leading to the abandonment of Belgium's diamond trade and the sanctioning of Russia's diamonds. Secondly, driven by its needs, the United States massively imports Russian enriched uranium despite the sanctions appearing superficial. By October 2023, the volume of enriched uranium purchased from Russia doubled, reaching 43.3 tons, valued at $62.8 million. Although the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill prohibiting the import of Russian enriched uranium, the bill included an exemption clause. Thirdly, while Germany and Belgium cannot buy Russian natural gas or import Russian diamonds, respectively, the U.S. imports enriched uranium from Russia. This disparity questions the fairness of the situation. China's rapid ascent in the solar industry exemplifies its robust production capacity and technological edge. By reducing the production cost of solar components by 42% to 15 cents per watt, surpassing competitors and holding 80% of the global solar component manufacturing capability, China has solidified absolute dominance in the solar field. This leadership isn't solely based on China's low-cost labor and government support, but primarily due to its extensive manufacturing scale and the resulting supply chain advantages. Conversely, Western countries' industrial policies are subject to government changes, leading to inconsistent approaches to the solar energy industry, evident in the Trump administration's abandonment of new energy support policies. These policy fluctuations hinder the stable growth of emerging industries. The sanctions against Russia have unveiled contradictions in Western countries' stances. Despite the US and EU sanctioning Russia's diamond industry, they continue importing significant quantities of enriched uranium from Russia. These double standards and inconsistent policy executions raise doubts regarding their rationale and fairness.